Thank you, Mark. Dortmund is the stage. The DVB Stadium Dortmund, and it is a sea of red Albanian shirts dotted with the blue of Italy as the teams take the field. It is some atmosphere inside the stadium, that is for sure. The defending champions against the minnows, the 500-1 shots, Albania. It's got all the ingredients you want from the Saturday night 8 o'clock kickoff in the European Championships. It's a very different, younger looking Italian team than the one that lifted the trophy 3 years ago in that shootout at Wembley against England. Chiellini and Bonucci have retired. They've got a new manager in Luciano Spalletti, who's replaced Roberto Mancini. He was poached by the Saudi national team 9 months ago. Only been in charge for 8 games, but has seen them through qualification after doing a brilliant job with Napoli, of course, last year when they won the title. Have they got enough goals in the team? That is what we will wait and see, as we do before every tournament, as we begin with the anthems, starting with the Albanian national anthem. Tell you what, we've seen it so many times in European competition, but this stadium in Dortmund, it does create some atmosphere. And there is some atmosphere inside the stadium as the players go down the line and shake hands, and with the German officiating team, and then unzip their tracksuit tops and get ready. Albania qualified top of their group with former Arsenal and Manchester City defender Silvino in charge. Only conceded 4 in qualifying. They're likely to sit deep, but their head coach says they respect their opponents but fear no one. Former England goalkeeper Paul Robinson is alongside me for this one. That is some noise that's being created.
Well, it's incredible, isn't it? And we've been treated to a fantastic start to the tournament. There's been a lot of optimism about the tournament, but you look at the 3 games that we've already had, and we're hoping for a similar one tonight. As you say, Albania coming into this tournament as real underdogs. We've got 2 ends of the spectrum tonight, haven't we? We've got the reigning champions, the current holders of the European Championship in Italy, and Albania, who have come into this. Listen, they've qualified top of their group. A real shock. It's only their 2nd ever tournament, and they've been drawn in the group of death. It's a really difficult group for them, but they've got nothing to lose here, and they're going to give the Italians a real good game.
And they are in the Poznan. The Albanian fans already their 2nd ever major tournament, as the referee tosses the coin and they decide which ends they're going to have. Donnarumma at the age of 25, of course, the Italian captain, 6'5" in goal, the player of the tournament in 2021. We won't want to remember that shootout against England, but he was exceptional in that tournament and keeps his place in goal ahead of Vicario, Paul.
John, it's incredible to think that he's still only 25. I mean, you look at the experience that he's got. He made his debut for Italy when he was 17, 200 plus appearances for AC Milan, now 80 plus appearances for PSG. You look at what a glittering career he's had for somebody so young. Italy's youngest ever captain, Italy's youngest ever goalkeeper. I mean, it's an incredible achievement for someone so young. And when you look at him, you look at the size, you look at the stature, you can understand why he's achieved something at such an age.
We think they're going to go with a 4-2-3-1, Italy, as we'll have to wait and see in a moment. So right back, Giovanni Di Lorenzo, Alessandro Bastoni with Riccardo Calafiori at centre-back and Federico Di Marco at left-back. Jorginho and Barella, who is fit, such an important player for them, the Inter Milan playmaker. Fratesi right, Chiesa we think on the left, and then just in behind Pellegrini, in behind Gianluca Scamacca. We think that's the way they're going to go. He's tried a lot of different things. He's tried the 5 because so many of them are used to that, Paul, but we think, having a look at it, and as they line up now, as Albania get ready to get us underway, looks like they're going to try a 4.
Yeah, they are definitely start with a back 4 tonight. Spalletti's chopped and changed in the qualification, in the friendlies. He's used a 3-4-2-1 to reduce vulnerability, to stop them being so susceptible to the counter-attack, to protect the centre-halves. But I think in the game tonight against Albania, he realises that he's got a lot of attacking players that he wants to get on the pitch, and he's confident to go with a back 4.
They're underway, and Albania have an early chance and an early goal! Would you believe it? They are ahead in Dortmund, and we've only played for seconds of the game. This is extraordinary. Wow, it's Behrami after a sloppy throw-in from Italy straight from the kickoff, and he's fired it past Donnarumma's left hand, and the defending champions are behind. Italy 0, Albania 1.
What a start for Albania, absolutely incredible. Even the most hardened of Albanian fans couldn't have imagined this start. 20 seconds in, Di Marco, the left back for Italy, really sloppy throwing, goes to throw it back to the centre half, Bastoni. Behrami reads it, nips in, lashes it past Donnarumma before he can see the ball. What a start for the Albanians. This is an incredible start.
His 5th goal for his country, Nedim Behrami. Wow. Relegated with Sassuolo in Serie A this season, and has just fired one past the national team to put Albania 1-0 up. This is extraordinary. It took a little nick off Bastoni before it passed Donnarumma, which gave him absolutely no chance, and the Italians are up against it. I think the goal's going to be timed on around 21 seconds, something like that. Italy are in possession, heading down the right. They've got an early chance to equalise, and it's been put wide by Pellegrini. It was a good opportunity that. He's inside the penalty area, 15 yards out. He's just leaning back, and he's put it wide.
What a start to this game. I mean, we're not even 2 minutes in. Not every player on the pitch has touched the ball yet. And we've had 2 opportunities, 1 goal, and a great opportunity there. It's an incredible start to the game. Italy, the masters of their own downfall. Really poor throwing from Di Marco. Everybody switched off. 20 seconds in. I mean, it's an incredible start for Albania. You just think now, what are the Italians going to do? They're going to dominate possession. The Albanians are going to sit deep. That was already the game plan. Defensive solidity, sit deep, play on the counter-attack. But now they've got something to hold on to.
It's only their 2nd major tournament, Albania. They are 500 to 1 tournament outsiders in the toughest group in the tournament, but they have the lead. That might be a push in the back by Breuer, who English football fans will know very well, and it is. It's a free kick to Italy, push in the back on Bastoni, and it'll be a free kick 5 yards in from the right-hand touchline, midway inside the Italian half. And now the Italians will have to try and unpick this Albanian defence, as Paul has mentioned. Very, very stingy under Silvino and his assistant Pablo Zabaleta. The two were together at Manchester City. Only conceded 4 goals in qualifying. The group, you could argue, wasn't the strongest, but the Czech Republic were in there. They beat them 3-0 at home. Very good at home in qualifying. They only scored 12, but this, as you mentioned, is absolutely perfect for them as Italy come forward through the middle of the pitch with Di Lorenzo, who's up from right back and playing quite a long way forward into the feet of Fratesi. Albania have everyone back behind the ball at the moment. Now they'll charge forward down the left with Di Marco. Gets the ball inside. Albania win the ball back, the goal scorer. Behrami plays a long ball forward. Listen to that Albanian crowd roar their team on. They cannot believe what they are seeing. Do not adjust your smart speakers. Do not adjust BBC Sounds. It is Italy 0, Albania 1. The goal coming in 20 seconds.
Well, the support that you touched on there that the Albanian team have got inside the stadium, the noise is actually incredible. We've had some good atmospheres already in this tournament, but this one has topped it all. I mean, it's absolutely deafening inside the stadium, but already since the goal's gone in, Italy have dominated possession. The thing with Albania now is they're looking like they're going to drop off. Every single player bar one of the Italian centre-halves is camped inside the Albanian half already.
When they've got the ball, Albania, they're going to have to try and keep hold of it, because it's going to be a long 90 minutes plus to play without the ball. But this is something they will be well drilled in. They'll have played so much shape under the manager and Zabaleta leading into this tournament, knowing they're going to be without the ball for their 3 group games: Croatia, of course, and Spain and Italy. As Italy are in possession on the right-hand side. Ball moved infield to Jorginho. And now, up from right back, it's Di Lorenzo. Deep cross, headed away by Albania. Will look out for a corner. No, they've managed to keep it in. in the right back spot with Asani. Albania with so many players who have featured in Serie A from time to time. So Strakosha is in goal of Brentford as the ball swung deep to the right-hand side inside the penalty area. Italy have possession, 3 forward. In comes a whipped left-footed effort, but it's headed away by Albania. Italy get the ball back midway inside the Albania half right-hand side, still in possession and knocking the ball around nicely at the moment. He's looked good, Barella, so far. Nicolo Barella, who was an injury doubt coming into this one, but so important for Italy going forward. Box-to-box midfielder. And here the boos from the Albanian fans as Jorginho's in possession. He's 30 yards from goal. Into the feet of Pellegrini. Ball into the penalty area. Chance here. Good interception from Albania and then cleared away, but Italy had the ball back inside the penalty area. And that's overhit and it will go out for a goal kick for Albania. It was offside, the flag's gone up as well. So it will be a free kick inside their own penalty area for Albania and they'll get a bit of a breather.
Yeah, I think the message that the Italian coach Luciano Spalletti is trying to get onto the pitch at the moment is just stay calm. I mean, the goal for Albania has come so early on in the game. We've still got almost a full game if you count the injury time at the end of the game. The Italians, the quality that they've got in the middle of that pitch with Pellegrini and the 10 role, Barella, Jorginho, you can see the possession that they've had already. Albania is sitting very, very deep. They're already dropping into a back 5-4. We talked there in the right back position. It was Asani who was wearing number 9 on his back. So that shows you how deep Albania are dropping. And they're going to look to do what they're doing now, counter-attack.
And they are on the counter-attack. And they have got a little bit of room. Here's Asani in the penalty area. Left-footed strike, deflected and behind for a corner. He probably could have let that go there, Di Lorenzo, and his goalkeeper gives him a little tap on the head. It flicked off an Italy player anyway, so it would have been a corner. So he went safety first, and this is where Albania, they'll have done loads on set pieces.
Well, you can just see the Italians a little bit nervy, aren't they? They've conceded that goal. They can't afford to concede another. Now the Albanians will know they've got an opportunity with a set play. They will have known that they're not going to get that many opportunities in games like this. So they will work very, very hard on the training ground, the set play routines, and it's another opportunity for them.
Corner then for Albania on the right-hand side. It's going to be taken by Aslani of Inter. He's got his left hand in the air. 5 players jostling for position inside the 6-yard box. Up he steps, right-footed, little flick at the near post, comes off an Italian player and it's behind for another corner for Albania.
It's a really poor delivery, but you can hear there from the Albanian supporters, all the Albanian attackers are inside the 6-yard box. The Italian way is to mark zonal. They're seemingly marking zonal, but they've had to change because Albania are just packing that 6-yard box in and around Donnarumma, making it very uncomfortable for the 6'5" Italian goalkeeper.
In comes the corner again, into the near post, headed away by Italy, high, but it will be picked up by an Albanian red shirt with their black shorts, and they come forward down the left-hand side. Good run this, and a cross into the penalty area. Oh, and he's kicked thin air there. He's not kicked thin air, but he's not really made a very good connection with a left foot shot. Probably fell to the wrong player in Berat Jimshiti, and it will be an offside flag that will give Italy a free kick inside their own penalty area, and it's Italy 0, Albania 1 on 5 Live. The goal coming on 23 seconds, the fastest ever European Championship goal we've witnessed there, Paul.
Well, we couldn't have wished for a better start. I mean, we spoke before the game, didn't we, before we went on air? We wondered what type of game that we were going to get. The Italians obviously struggling to score goals. They're not the free-flowing, free-scoring, and the Albanians don't concede a lot and they don't score a lot. And from an Albanian point of view, it's just been an absolute dream start. And they've sat back, they've sat deep, but they've also offered things on the counter-attack.
Here's DiMarco with an effort at goal, comes off Husai, and it will be a corner for Italy on the left-hand side. So the Albanian lineup looks like this. Husai has just blocked that at right back with Ayeti and Jimshiti centre backs. Nitai at left back, then Aslani and Ramadani in midfield. Asani on the right, Saferi on the left, and then Broya and Bayrami, the goal scorer, just in behind him. Short corner by Italy on the left. Here comes the cross into the penalty area, to the far post, free header, 1-1. It's a super header from Bastoni, completely unmarked. All All he had to do was nod it back across the goalkeeper, and the Italians, the champions, have levelled it up. Italy won, Albania won.
Yeah, it hasn't taken them long, Italy. That little bit of possession that they've had, it's all come from a really, really simple set play. The corner routine well worked on the left-hand side, played short, nobody goes out to close the ball down, it's just drifted into the far post, and Bastoni's there completely unmarked. Really disappointing from an Albanian point of view. The marking's terrible, and Bastoni can't believe his luck. 3 yards out, guides his header back across the goalkeeper into the far right-hand corner, and it's not taken Italy long to get themselves back into this game. Such a simple set play. Albania have to defend better.
It's his second international goal. Alessandro Bastoni of Inter, and they have managed to equalise within 10 minutes, the Italians. That is huge for them. From a set piece, Silvino and Zabaleta will be frustrated by that, because the Albanians have been so tight in qualification, with just 4 goals conceded. Only Portugal and France better defensive record in qualifying, so to concede from a set piece after you've been gifted that opening goal will be frustrating for them.
But it was such a simple one as well, wasn't it? I mean, they all just switched off. Italy played the short corner, and Albania didn't have the 2 players going out to close. Eventually one of them came out the box to close the ball down. Ball came into the box, and there was nobody marking Bastoni. Ghosted in around the back post, free header, one of the easiest goals that he'll score of his career. But like you say, very, very easy, preventable from an Albanian point of view, from a team that's got such a good defensive record.
Bastoni, one of those who's come in to replace the legends Chiellini and Bonucci, who retired, of course. They had some bad luck with Acerbi and Scalvini. He got injured. Scalvini did his ACL on the final day of the season for Atalanta in a bit of a dead rubber. Such bad luck for them. But Bastoni, ball-playing centre-back, has been super this season for Inter. 2 Coppa Italias, 2 Serie A titles, and now a goal in a major competition at the Euros for Bastoni. And the Italians are in possession, midway inside the Albanian half. That pass is overhit though, and it's gone out for a throw-in to Albania, level with their own 18-yard box on the left-hand side. Italy all in blue, and Albania in their red shirts and black shorts and black socks. 1-1, and we've had 13 minutes in Dortmund with a crackling atmosphere. Albania 66th in the world, 500 to 1. We respect our opponents, but we fear no one, is what Silvino said before the game, and that was certainly proved in the first 23 seconds when they took the lead in this one.
Well, it was an incredible start, wasn't it? I mean, Italy, they were the masters of their own downfall with a really poor throw-in, but the game now, it seems to have settled a little bit from an Italian point of view. They seem to be in the formation and dominating the possession as you would have expected them to before that early scare.
Italy in possession on the halfway line, centre circle, overhit long ball, trying to search out Federico Di Marco, and an apology. Some haircut he's got, Di Marco. He's gone for the sort of blonde cropped M&M, and then he's shaved like I don't know what you call that. Is it a drop fade? I don't know what.
There's so many a low fade. To be fair, my son would look at that and he'd tell me there was more skin and no fade.
Albania have possession with their goalkeeper Strakosha, who could do nothing about the goal. Only 4 appearances for Brentford last season. His dad, Foto, 73 caps for the national team. He's a youth coach at Lazio now, and they really have done well with the national database since Silvino took charge, and Zabaleta to try and scour Europe for players with Albanian heritage, and managed to get them together and playing together as a unit.
It's almost unheard of, isn't it? An international team having to do a recruitment job, and you can see that they only used 26 players in qualifying, which was the joint fewest of any team, so that gives you an indication.
Lovely first touch by Di Marco, puts in a cross, the goalkeeper makes the save and beats the ball away. and the fullbacks are starting to get a little bit of room for Italy as they press forward.
A great first touch by Dimarco, and he gets in behind the left back there, and you can see that's what Italy's trying to do. The key for Italy is they've got to move the ball quickly out of possession. They'll have a back four, Albania, but they've got almost a 4-3-3 when they're in possession. If Italy get the turnover quickly and they can get down the sides, that's where the space is, down the side of Asllani, down the side of Bayrami. If they can exploit that quickly like they did there with Di Lorenzo.
Barella to Jorginho, and now into the feet of Di Lorenzo. A shot is blocked, and a shot from distance, and it's in! It's a brilliant strike from Barella. It fell to him 25 yards out. I'm not sure if it takes a deflection. It's actually just on the edge of the 18-yard box, and the Italians are in front, right-footed, first time into the corner. Italy 2, Albania 1.
Well, that's a brilliant hit by Barella, 22 yards outside the box. Again, it's something we didn't think we'd talk about tonight. Sloppy Albanian defending. 2, 3, 4 times they had a chance to clear the lines. They didn't. It comes out to the edge of the box to Barella. He just instinctively hits it with the outside of his right foot. The ball starts outside the post. There's nothing the goalkeeper can do. It's a fantastic strike by Barella. Top of his foot, outside of his right foot, drifting back in, nicks the inside of the post. It's a great strike and a really, really good reaction from the Italians.
His 10th international goal. There is a VAR check, checking for a potential foul by an attacking player leading up to the goal. So we'll just have a delayed start here. A delayed restart, I should say. I must admit, I didn't see anything myself on the replay, but they are checking it now. It's his 10th international goal, Barella. There was an injury doubt about him before the game, but he's just so important for the Italians in the way they move the ball through the field.
Yeah, I mean, we can see there Barella's reaction there, the check over, the goal's been given, but as you say, he's so important. I mean, there was an injury doubt before the game, but the manager has chosen to put him into a game where, let's be honest, you'd expect the Italians to win this game. You'd expect them to win it and win it comfortably. So if there was any kind of doubt over Barella, you would think he may have left him out, but it just shows how key he is to this team. The position that he finds himself in there on the edge of the box, he's almost like he's attracted to the ball, he's attracted to where the danger's going to be, drops to him outside of his foot. What a great finish.
Italy in possession again, going down the right hand side, leading by 2-1. This is a good move as well, but a slightly overhit pass, goal kick for Albania. We were just talking before the game about what we thought might happen, and obviously myself and Paul thought it might be 0-0 at half time with Albania, you know, really well organised and don't concede many, and Italy without noticeable striker who, bangs the ball away. They've got Scamacca playing up front. Their goals haven't come through him so far, but what do we know? It's been a superstar.
Well, the Albanians have conceded half as many goals tonight as they did in the whole of the qualification, which shows you what they're all about. I mean, defensively, they've been solid. Okay, they've qualified of a group with Poland, Czech Republic and Moldova in that group, but they had to keep the clean sheets. They had to be defensively sound. We expected them to be robust. Do you know what, John? I think they probably surprised themselves scoring so early tonight.
Bayrami after 23 seconds for Albania, after a disastrous throw-in situation where they just literally threw the ball to Bayrami, who fired it in. It was a bit of a shambles. And then goals on 11 and 16 minutes from Bastoni. Barella have put the Italians and the champions into the driving seat, and will they have to come out a little bit more? It's so early in the game, Albania, that they're still just going to have to try and sit, I think, and try and contain Italy. Well, they haven't been able to cope with the 2 fullbacks, have they, moving up the pitch so far, Albania, as Italy are in possession centre field.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I think we spoke about them playing a back 4, but they're very quickly now dropped into a back 5 almost, and the space is down the side of the midfield because they're playing 3 in midfield. It's very, very narrow, and when the Italians move the ball quickly, push on Dimarco and Di Lorenzo into those areas down the side of the Albanian midfield, that's where they cause problems.
Good from Italy down the right-hand side, and it's a good challenge. Snapping in back there from Saferi, a 27-year-old who plays in the United Arab Emirates. 19 caps and 3 goals, with some good defensive work there to stop Chiesa getting the ball across from the byline. But Italy have won themselves a corner from the right-hand side. Pellegrini's over it, along with Dimarco. Marco with his socks in very much a Steve Claridge style, if you can picture that.
He's showing off his legs and his fine array of artwork down his left leg.
It's a bit Jack Grealish, the shin pad situation. As in comes a good-looking corner, and Albania have partially dealt with it. The Italians trying to win the ball back, but they might break here, Albania, if they can get hold of the ball in midfield. It's with the goal scorer, Bayrami. Out towards Breuer, who's fouled, I think. Yeah, there's the referee's whistle, and it's going to be our first yellow card here. And it's come for Lorenzo Pellegrini, the Roma number 10 for Italy.
Yeah, he had to put in the foul there. We saw there in the pace on the counter-attack from the Albanians. Bayrami, the goal scorer, gets away, plays a really good ball into Breuer. He just gets the wrong side of Pellegrini and he has to bring him down. So now Albania have got an opportunity with a free kick, another opportunity to put the ball into the Italian box.
Live from the BBC. It's the voice of Paul Robinson, former England goalkeeper, and they've decided not to put the ball in the box, Albania, but to try and have a little bit of possession for a while. So they're stroking the ball about at the back for the first time in the game with Ayeti and Jim Sheety. Don't forget, you can take us with you wherever you are with the BBC Sounds app. Getting out of the car, stick us on with your headphones on BBC Sounds. And while you're there, you can check out Match of the Day Top 10 as Gary Lineker, Micah Richards and Alan Shearer bring you a special Euro series ranking their greatest games, controversial moments. Really good, that, on BBC Sounds right now, with Albania in possession on the halfway line. Italy 2, Albania 1. 22 minutes of the game gone. Albania with their first bit of meaningful possession, really, of the game. Everything's been on the counter, but they've got time here to try and pick the Italians open. They've got the ball on the left. In comes a deep cross, a good-looking cross. You can just hear the Albanian supporters every time. They felt there was a free kick there, that's why there were whistles, but they're still in possession, the Albanians, midway inside the Italian half. Centre field, trying to keep the ball in there with Ramadani. Plays for Lecce, the 28-year-old. And now with Husai, who's at Lazio. So they'll be so familiar with so many of these Italian players, these Albanians. And they've still got possession on the halfway line. Italy pressing hard, working hard. And Spalletti teams usually do. If you've ever seen what he did at Napoli, they really do put a shift in. And that's an Italy throw, and the Albanian crowd feel it should have been an Albania throw. And for the first time, these two teams, after a frenetic fast start, have just taken a little breather.
It does. It seems to, the game seems to have calmed. I think, especially from an Albanian point of view. I think scoring the goal so early on after 20 seconds, it probably threw their game plan a little bit as well. And the Italians getting back into the game, then conceding 2 goals from an Albania point of view. They do now look to have enjoyed a little bit of possession, and the two sides seem to be, just standing off each other. The game has settled.
No need to go anywhere else. We'll keep you up to date with the US Open third round with Ian Carter at Pinehurst, and the cricket if it stops raining in the Caribbean with Ellie as well, as Italy are in possession. Left hand side, midway inside the Albanian half, trying to unpick them, and it's an overhit through ball from Jorginho. Puts his hand up, says sorry about that, and it will be a goal kick for Albania. Italy 2, Albania 1. We'll also keep you up to date with the tennis. Paul Scott at that all-British Nottingham semi-final between Emma Raducanu and Katie Bolter. Katie Bolter, the reigning champion. Should be good. Albania in possession, trying to bring the ball out of defence, and they played a long, high ball through the middle for Breuer to chase. He's slightly unbalanced there, and for a moment he looked like he was going to get on the end of it, but Donnarumma, all in green, comes out of his goal and rolls the ball into the feet of Jorginho in the centre of the pitch. And now on the left it's Pellegrini, 10 yards inside his own half. Offloads the ball to Jorginho again. Pellegrini once more in the centre circle, brings the ball over the halfway line. Italy in comfortable possession now inside Albanian territory with Jorginho again, who plays a long raking crossfield ball. It's a lovely ball actually, and first time DiMarco puts the ball inside and it finds Pellegrini. Good football this from Italy. Albania back in a 5 and then a 3 and then a 2. Very, very deep in the low block as Italy come down the right hand side. Now they run down a blind alley and check back inside with Jorginho. Whistles and boos from the Albanian crowd inside the DVB in Dortmund. Every time the Italians go sideways and backwards, as Italy is still in possession. 40 yards from the Albanian goal, centre of the field, with Bastoni, the scorer of their first goal, unmarked from a corner. They've given the ball away here, and now Albania will try and break. They'll bring the ball over the halfway line with Ramadani. Now into the feet on the left-hand side of Seferi. Albania in possession inside their own half, 10 yards inside their own half, centre field, moving the ball to the right-hand side, to the right fullback, Husai of Lazio. To Asani, plays in South Korea, Gwangju. Ramadani, Albania still in possession, centre field. All on the right-hand side again with Husai. Now back with Asani, who's looking to try and get across him, but good defending from Italy. They've won the ball back, and now they'll potentially try and break on Albania here. We've got 6 or 7 players inside the Italian half if Italy move quickly, leading by 2-1 on 5 Live. 27th minute. They went behind after 23 seconds to Albania. What a start to the game we had. And 11 and 16 came back into it. Jorginho, centre field for Italy, inside the Albanian half. Now with the score of that stunning second goal, Barella, Nicolo Barella. Such a good strike. Outside of the foot, keeper no chance. Jorginho, edge of the penalty area, chips the ball forward into the feet of Scamacca for a rare touch from Scamacca, former West Ham United striker. Italy still in possession, although they've been forced back by Albania, and Albania look in better shape defensively than they did in the first 20 minutes. They just look like they found their feet a little, Paul Robinson.
I think they're very much well drilled into regaining a defensive shape. The manager Silvino has got a message on to drop into the back 5, and it's the left winger at the time, Seferi, that was playing higher up the field, but he's now been asked to work very, very hard up and down that left-hand side and drop into the left wing-back position. So as we're seeing now, it's a game that we probably expected before. The Albanians are quite happy to let Italy have comfortable possession in front of them. They're sat with a back 5, a 4 in front, and then saying to Italy, try and break us down.
Right, tempted to have a shot from distance there with Di Lorenzo, but he plays it to the right instead. Italy in possession with Jorginho in the centre of the pitch. Chiesa, and now they're back with the centre-back, Calafiori. Pellegrini knocking the ball around nicely here. Italy still got possession inside the Albanian half. Every Albanian player back behind the ball. Jorginho tries to thread it through. Albania intercept, and then they'll try and break quickly with Seferi on the left-hand side, but a good interception, and it'll be a throw-in for Albania midway inside their own half on the left-hand side. At the tennis in Nottingham, by the way, the all-British semi-final between Katie Bolter and Emma Raducanu will resume tomorrow. It was suspended because of bad light. Emma Raducanu took the first set 7-6. So that'll be interesting when it resumes tomorrow. Italy in possession, corner of the penalty area on the right-hand side with Chiesa. Left-footed cross hits the back of an Albanian defender, and Italy get the ball back. And knock it all the way back to their goalkeeper, Donnarumma. Second in Group C, Italy in qualification. Of course, they're in England's group. 4 wins, 2 draws and 2 defeats, both to England. And they survived a penalty shout from Ukraine in that 0-0 draw to avoid a playoff. So qualification, they got there, but they've had a bit of an up and down time, I think it's fair to say, since winning the trophy in 2021 against England. Failed to qualify for another World Cup, no World Cup since 2014, and then Roberto Mancini went to Saudi Arabia and they're on the search for a new manager who's only been in charge for 8 matches, Paul.
Yeah, I think with Mancini as well, they've been in a state of rebuild numerous times, haven't they? I think, remember when Mancini first took over, I think he called 35 players up into his first squad because he wasn't sure of what he had. He wanted to look at all the players. With Italy then winning the Euros and not qualifying for the World Cup, the inquest started.
Sorry to interrupt. Great work from Chiesa down the right, put in a cross, and then almost an overhead kick from Pellegrini, and Italy have the ball back with DiMarco. Sorry, carry on.
No, it's just the inquest started, didn't it? And the rebuild started again when there was no qualification for the World Cup. I mean, in the Italian press, how can the European champions not qualify for a World Cup? But you know, they've been forced into numerous changes now with the squad, with the players they've got missing, unavailable: Tonali, Udogi, Zaniolo, Berardi, along the likes of Chiellini and Bonucci who have retired. So again, it's another rebuild. It's a younger generation. We talked about Buongiorno maybe playing the centre half, but Calafiori got the nod today. 2 quality centre halves, ball playing centre halves. So the next generation, that the conveyor belt started again.
Buongiorno, by the way, who's on the bench, does actually pretty much translate to good morning, so they would have had good morning playing at centre-back, which I quite like. Luciano Spalletti won the title with Napoli, of course, and then wanted a break. He went to his Tuscan home where he makes wine and olive oil, and then got tempted into the national job once Mancini left. Sounds good, doesn't it? Making wine and olive oil in Tuscany. Didn't do it for long.
Well, he can't be that good. He's taken another job, hasn't he? But I think the thing is with the Italian side, with the Napoli side that he had, he quite often played a 4-3-3. He played a very attacking style of play, high press, and scored a lot of goals. But he hasn't been able to do that with this Italian side because he hasn't got the players, the forward players, to score the amount of goals that he did at Napoli.
Got some good news from Antigua, by the way, where England need to beat Namibia to stand any chance of qualifying for the Super 8. The game is due to begin at 9 o'clock our time, so 27 minutes time they're due to get underway. Of course, a draw and an abandonment, another one to go with the Scotland one, and they wouldn't be able to qualify for the Super 8. So that's some good news at least, and we'll keep you up to date with that with Ellie Aldroyd.
Is it a 5-a-side? We just need a 5-a-side, isn't it, just to get the game started? I think that's the minimum requirement, isn't it? 5 overs per side.
It's going to be 11 this, so if it had been called off, if they started at something like 9:36, something like that, it'd have been 5 overs a side, but they're going to get 11 overs per side. As Jorginho for Italy plays the ball out to the right hand side to Chiesa, a little ball inside, but just couldn't bring it under control there for Frattesi. But Italy have got the ball back, and now maybe Frattesi will score. Dink! Oh, great save, post! Italy still got the ball at the byline, trying to get the cross in still. Oh, it's great feet from Chiesa, puts in a dink cross, but cleared away. That is a super save from Strakosha to palm it onto the post, Paul Robinson.
Yeah, Frattesi finds himself in a great position there, doesn't he? You think that he's just going to open up and hit the ball, strike the ball at the goalkeeper, but he goes to dink it at the goalkeeper, Strakosha. It looks like he's come out in a one-on-one position and he's stood up, whereas a lot of goalkeepers make themselves small, they go to ground. Just seen it again, it's a great ball through to him by Pellegrini, and the goalkeeper stands up and he looks like he's just got the faintest of touches on the ball, pushed it onto that near post. Frattesi, isn't it, through one-on-one with him just on the angle. Goalkeeper stands up and Frattesi, instead of striking the ball through, Scamacca actually finds Frattesi through the back four, dinks the goalkeeper, but as he's falling, he swings his right hand over and he gets the faintest of touches. That's going in. That's a great save by Strakosha.
I really do think it's a good save. I don't think he did a lot wrong there, Frattesi. It's a lovely little dink. It's in, but it's just great reactions. And just how difficult it is as a goalkeeper to stay up as long as he did and not go to ground.
Well, he's stayed up, but what he's done is, as Frattesi's then dinked the ball, you're not expecting to be dinked from that close. So as he's dinked the ball, he's kind of half going to ground, but he's had the reaction and the quickness of thought and reaction to bring his right arm over the top as he's falling to ground, gets the slightest of touches on it, and then sometimes, as we've just seen there, the slightest of touches is the difference between it flicking the post or going in the net. It's a brilliant save.
That might well have been game over as well for Albania, so arguably he's kept his side in the game. Chiesa just needed a little bit of treatment there after he crossed the ball right-footed at the byline, but looks okay. He's jogging just around the corner flag now with the doctor and the physio keeping him company, and the referee will tell him when he's allowed to come back on. And Albania have a throw-in on the right-hand side, midway inside the Italian half, with Husai waving his arms, telling people where he wants them with his orange boots and his black socks and shorts, red shirt. 70% possession Italy so far. 8 attempts on goal, 2 on target. Obviously they're the 2 that have gone in, and Albania with 3 efforts at goal, and the one after 23 seconds which found its way past Donnarumma. The Albanian crowd, who are very vocal, very passionate. They reckon there's 50,000 who've just travelled there who couldn't get in, very much like Scotland in Munich last night. Went absolutely berserk in Dortmund. As Albania in possession with their goalkeeper who's just made that save, Thomas Strakosha of Brentford. He just slips as he takes his kick there, and it didn't get the distance he required. Italy have got possession on the halfway line, Paul.
Well, it was an interesting selection, wasn't he, Strakosha, in goal? I mean, Berisha's played a lot of the qualifying games, and I think we expected him to play in the team tonight. I mean, Strakosha's been at Brentford for 2 seasons. He's played twice in 2 seasons, so his lack of first-team football and first-team match sharpness. I mean, he's been number 2 to Flecken this year, David Raya the year before, and not until literally the year 2015 to 2022, and he was at Lazio, played over 150 games for Lazio. The last 2 seasons he's played very, very little football, so to come into the game tonight and to be expected to perform, it was a big call from the manager, Silvino.
Yeah, won 2 Coppa Italia with Lazio, but just failed to make his mark as yet, which is just the goalkeeper's lot, isn't it, really? You can go somewhere and manager fancies the other goalkeeper, you can sit on the bench, and it's whether you're happy to sit there, I guess, isn't it, as Italy are in possession. 5 yards inside the Albania half. Pass is slightly under hit, but Albania don't get on the end of it, and Italy keep possession. Left hand side, centre backs coming to help out, Calafiori, and now the well advanced Di Marco, who's 30 yards from the byline, from the Albania byline. Italy recycling the ball in midfield, happy with their 2-1 lead. This is, exactly where they want to be, Italy.
I think the thing now is, for the Albanian point of view, the game, as you rightly said, has settled, and for Albania it's staying in the game, it's not conceding another one. So the goalkeeper make a great save there. If they can stay in the game to half time, till 60 minutes to 75 minutes, they'll break the game now up into sections. They'll try and get to markers within the game. Their next aim is to get to half time without conceding another goal. Italy are having a lion's share of possession, they're dominating, but the thing for Albania is don't get cut open, don't concede another one, stay in the game till later in the game, and there's always a chance you can get something.
Italy 2, Albania 1, that's the voice of Paul Robinson, and we are 7 minutes plus added time away from half-time on 5 Live. Italy in possession on the halfway line with the scorer of the second goal, Barella, who's got his foot on it, playing in little triangles at the moment. Italy keeping possession, Albania still in the low block. Jorginho knocks it back to the halfway line. They're comfortable with this possession at the moment. The You'll Never Beat Kyle Walker podcast, by the way, if you haven't heard it yet, is brilliant. There's a little bit of space here for Pellegrini. Edge of the 18-yard box, low cross cleared away by Albania. It's so good, taking you inside the dressing room to find out what it takes to win over and over again. You'll Never Beat Kyle Walker. It's on BBC Sounds right now if you get a chance to have a listen. It is very, very good, as Italy have a throw-in, level with the Albania penalty spot on the left-hand side.
There's just been a little bit of a lull in the atmosphere, hasn't there? I mean, we talked before the game about the incredible atmosphere that the Albanian fans have brought, and from an Italian point of view, this is one way to kill and dampen down an atmosphere. They've done it with possession. They've not really created that many chances, but they're dominating possession, and they're making the Albanians run after the ball and work, and at the moment they're having a lot of possession, and the Albanian crowd has gone quiet.
Chance for Scamacca, good save again by Strakosha, and it's a corner for Italy. It was played through to him, first touch brought it down, second touch on the half volley on the angle, but the goalkeeper was up to it again.
Well, that came out of nowhere, didn't it? It came really quickly. Ball forward, Pellegrini wins a really good header on the edge of the box, comes through to Scamacca on a very similar angle to Fratesi. Goalkeeper comes out in the same way, makes himself big, but this time Scamacca, instead of what Fratesi did, lifting the ball, Scamacca goes for power, but the goalkeeper's positioning allows him to make a really good block.
kept his legs together there, and often you see a goalkeeper come out like that with legs wide open, and if they'd been wide open he'd have gone straight through the middle of the ball as the corner comes in from Italy, an away swinger headed up in the air by an Albanian defender, not cleared yet. Breuer has a chance to nod it forward towards teammate Asani, but Italy get there and put it out for a throw in on the left hand side. As the atmosphere just ramps up a little bit, the Albanian fans trying to lift their team who trailed 2-1. 5 minutes plus added time to the break. Unbeaten in 7 competitive games, Albania, coming into this one. The friendlies in March, they lost 3-0 against Chile and 1-0 against Sweden. And then they played Liechtenstein and won 3-0 a couple of weeks ago, and then Azerbaijan 3-1 in their warm-up games for this. But they top Group E, don't forget. The Czech Republic in second, who they beat 3-0 at home, drew 1-1 away, and beat Poland 2-0 as well. And they are giving a good showing in Dortmund in their opening game in this seemingly impossible group for them, but in the game at the moment against the champions Italy, and in possession on the halfway line on 5 Live. Just 10 yards inside the Italy half, just knocking the ball about with Breuer. Back to the halfway line. Now in midfield it's with Asllani, who hasn't really got into the game, but he's a super player, 22 years old, and was a key figure as Inter went on to win the league. Only got his first start for Inter in January, but had a really good second half of the season. Started with Empoli, where he worked as a waiter while he was with Empoli, and now look at him playing at the Euros and winning a championship with Inter. They haven't managed to get some of their creative talent onto the ball, Albania, when they've been coming forward.
I think it's the way that the game started for them, obviously with their own early goal and then conceding in the manner that they did. I don't think it was a game plan that either manager would have expected in the first 20 minutes. And I think it threw them. From that first 20 minutes when all 3 goals went in, the game has settled and it's gone into a pattern of what we would have expected. The Albanians been very strong defensively, quite happy to let the Italians have possession in front of them. The Italians have dominated the possession without really creating any clear-cut opportunities to get that third goal. And like I said before, that the longer Albania stay in this game at 2-1, they won't be disappointed.
Throw in for Albania near the halfway line on the left-hand side after an overhit pass from Italy. Namibia have won the toss and will field. So England batting in that 11 over a side game in Antigua, which they must win. And then Australia, of course, must beat Scotland for them to make the Super 8. Run rate after that super performance against Oman shouldn't be a problem now for England, but they do need this game to finish against Namibia. We'll keep you up to date with that one as we bring you this commentary, as there's a foul there on Seferi, and it's going to be a free kick to Albania, and that's just what they need, just for a bit of a breather and an opportunity to put the ball into the Italian box. Now, last time they had a free kick out here, they didn't put it in the box. They opted to go for a little bit of possession. I wouldn't be surprised if this one goes into the box, Paul.
No, Jim Sheety and Aiti, the 2 centre-halves, have strode forward into the box already. This one's definitely gone into the box. You can hear the Albanian crowd in the background.
In comes a deep cross to the far post, and there is a little bit of room there for Jim Sheety. And now urged to shoot is Asani, left-footed, and it's over the crossbar and wide. He just saw a little opening and decided to go for it, but he was a little bit off balance left-footed, 25 yards out. It's a goal kick for Italy.
Well, if you're listening to the Albanian supporters, you'd led to believe that was a lot closer than it was. He does really well there, Asani. Comes in on his left foot, just loses his balance, strikes with the outside of his left foot, flies high, wide, and not very handsome. But it's a rare jaunt into the Italian box for the Albanians.
Asani, one of those who was scouted by Silvino on that sort of national database, playing in South Korea, and since he's come in, 13 caps, 4 goals, and has really hit the ground running at the age of 29. Italy in possession. inside their own half. Good little interception there from Mitai. There'll be a throw into Italy just inside their own half on the right hand side. We'll wait to see how much stoppage time we've got at the end of the first half. Italy 2, Albania 1 on 5 live. Italy in possession. The defending champions in Dortmund, who they must have been shell-shocked after that opening goal in 23 seconds, but actually composed themselves really well and have finished well, have taken their chances well. 3 minutes of added time we're going to have at the end of the first half. Everyone talks about Italy and whether they'll score enough goals, but that almost happens before every tournament for the Italians, and let's face it, their record in this competition is excellent.
Well, yeah, defensively they've always been excellent, haven't they? I mean, the last 12 Euro final games they've only conceded 6 goals, and that's what they've been based on, is defensive solidity. We know they've had changes in those areas coming into this tournament, but when you look at the team today, you look at the attacking 6 players on the pitch: Pellegrini, Barella and Jorginho sitting the deeper of the 6, Fratesi, Scamacca, Chiesa. There is goals in this game, and when you see the way that they work the ball in front of the back 4, work the ball through the midfield, find the holes, and Pellegrini playing in that 10 role, I really like him there. He's caused problems in there tonight, and he's their out ball. He's been an option for them.
And they are in possession at the moment in the centre of the pitch. That's a lovely little reverse pass from Barella. And now surging forward is Fratesi. And now in comes a left foot cross from Chiesa. Oh, and what a good chance for Pellegrini. You just mentioned him there a few moments ago, making a late run into the penalty area. Came at him quickly. He just might have seen it late. Comes off his shoulder and goes wide. Goal kick Albania.
I think he's got to score, John. I really do. I mean, it's a really well-worked move by Italy. Goes to the right-hand side, and it's Chiesa on his left foot. Whips the ball in. Pellegrini just arriving late into the box. I think it's one of the centre halves from Albania. Just gets across the front of the ball. Doesn't touch it, but I think it might just put Pellegrini off. But that's a great opportunity from 6-8 yards out. Free header. He gets it all wrong and it hits his shoulder, which just makes you think that one of the centre halves got in his eye line.
Even the tattoo of the woman on his neck looks surprised that he didn't hit the target.
You've got some good eyesight.
Albanian throw. Silvino, 50 now. Silvino, that made me feel old when I read that. His grey hair brushed forward in his suit with his red tie, directing traffic, and Italy back in possession. Just 30 seconds or so to go in stoppage time at the end of the first half, with Italy leading by 2-1. It's in the feet of Bastoni, scorer of their equaliser. They'll quite happily keep possession here, Italy, and see the half-time whistle. Albania just still in the deep block. Italy knocking it about between the centre-backs, and Jorginho in possession now. Chip little ball forward, maybe one more attack there at the end of this half as Di Lorenzo tries to play in Fratesi, and it's intercepted, booted clear, and there is the half-time whistle from the German referee, Felix Zweier. And it's Italy 2, Albania 1. We expected it to be 0-0 at half-time when we were having a chat before the game, Paul Robinson, but the first 20 minutes of this game were electric.
Yeah, I think it threw us all out. I think it threw even the players out, and the game plan that they had from an Italian point of view, it certainly didn't go to plan. And I'm sure if you ask the Albanians honestly, they wouldn't have expected to be 1-0 up after 23 seconds. They went 1-0 up after not every player on the pitch had touched the ball. It was a really poor throw-in from Di Marco down the left-hand side. Read really well by Barami, got in, last a shot past Donnarumma, but you've got to give Italy credit. They didn't panic, they got themselves back into the game, they got back level, they got ahead, and then from that point the game took the shape of what we expected. The Italians dominated possession, the Albanians defended well, tried to hit Italy on the counter-attack, but the Italians at the moment in full control.
Donnarumma smiling, the Italian captain, the goalkeeper, as he goes off, but it could have been a very different half that had they not got themselves back into it so quickly. Half-time, Italy 2, Albania 1. Thank you, Mark. Ready to get back underway in Dortmund in front of some crowd. The Albanians inside the crowd especially have been making an absolute racket as we're back underway with Italy leading by 2-1. When they scored after 23 seconds, the goal scorer, Bayrami, jumped into the Albanian fans, and it was proper limbs. They were upside down, they were screaming. It was incredible. Only their second major tournament. They're at the Euros in 2016, and then Italy did a really good job of being composed, scoring from the set piece, Bastoni with the header, and then that super strike from Barella on 16 minutes to put them 2-1 ahead. And then the game plan of keeping the ball for Italy got going, as it's Albania who are keeping the ball at the start of this second half, kicking from right to left as we're looking at it. Red shirts, black shorts and black socks, with Italy in their blue shirts and white shorts and blue socks. The holders, no changes at half time, and Albania in possession but under the press from the manager, who likes his teams to play like that. Spalletti did a brilliant job with Napoli. We're really free scoring actually in that season 22-23 when they won the title. Very exciting to watch as Albania still in possession. 2-1 in the lead. Paul Robinson, former England goalkeeper, is alongside me. What do you think Albania need to do to get back into this game? As we'll just watch this attack on the right hand side as Italy are in possession with Fratesi, who's just brought the ball back to the corner of the penalty area, back to goal, and they'll be forced back Italy. What do you think Albania needs to do? Stay in this low block and hope to hit on the break, but at some point they're going to have to come out, aren't they?
That's what we're going to see, John. Yeah, we're going to see Albania in a very low block defensive mode and trying to hit the Italians on the break.
England are playing Namibia in the T20 World Cup in Antigua, and Ellie Aldroyd is watching. There's been a wicket, Ellie.
Yes, Joss Butler, the captain, is out, bowled by Ruben Trumpleman. England in a bit of trouble in the second over of this game. 2 for 1. Johnny Bairstow joining Phil Salt in the middle, and the first over went for only 1 run. So England looking nervy. They need to win here if they're going to progress or have a chance of progressing.
Fratesi in possession for Italy, leading by 2-1. Chance here, shot on the edge of the area, came in from Scamacca. I think it hit the back of his own player and stopped it going goalwards. Looked like it was on target, and Italy have a throw in on the right hand side, midway inside the Albanian half.
You can see by the disappointment on Scamacca's face then, the ball just drops him on the edge of the box. He's headed out by the Albanian centre half, hits it on the half volley, a really clean, crisp strike, and it just hits Fratesi, his own player. I mean, he's trying to get back onto onside from an offside position. Scamacca couldn't have hit it any cleaner. It was flying towards the bottom right hand corner, strikes his home player.
Haven't seen the angle yet, which tells us whether it was definitely on target, but it wasn't far away from that bottom right hand corner, as Paul said, and Italy are in possession, leading by 2-1 on 5 Live. If there's a wicket in the cricket, of course, we will let you know. We'll also keep an eye on the golf with Ian Carter as well from Pinehurst, the US Open, as Italy come down the right. Chiesa, lovely little cross. Ooh, a flying effort coming in, but didn't manage to make a proper connection on it. DeMarco there tried like a flying Daniel LaRusso Karate Kid half volley. It didn't come off.
I think for those of you with long enough memory, he tried a Di Canio on the half volley, but he actually missed it with his striking foot and it hit his standing foot instead. He made a real mess of that, DeMarco.
Yeah, that reference makes much more sense than the Karate Kid reference that I gave, Paul. You're absolutely right, it was a Di Canio, maybe not a LaRusso.
I got it though. I understood it.
You got it. You were there. Yeah. Italy in possession on halfway, lip of the centre circle now, with Bastoni, scorer of their opening goal, with a header from inside the 6-yard box. He won't score an easier header, at least he made it look easy, as Italy come through the middle of the pitch. That's a nice little reverse pass looking for Fratesi, but the goalkeeper, who made a couple of really good saves in the first half, Strakosha of Brentford, the 29-year-old, comes out and dives on the ball in sort of a luminous yellowy green, I'd call it, the goalkeeper's kit. You're not going to miss him, that's for sure. It is very, very bright. This is good football from Albania, and they've got a little bit of room here, and then coming forward with the goal scorer Bayrami through the middle of the pitch into the feet of Broya. Looked like he was being fouled, but has kept his feet and is still in possession. Now the ball out onto the left hand side to Safari, and Broja has tangled there with an Italian defender, and the Italian defender's on the ground, and the referee's got a yellow card in his left hand in his gold shirt, and he is about to book someone, but I'm not sure who.
Well, there's this rule about only the captain being able to speak to the referee. The referee tonight hasn't really enforced that rule. There's a number of Italian players surrounding the referee, and I think he's just turning his back to it.
Calafiori with the headband on is a bit of a Gallic shrug and is pointing at his chest with his hand, saying "me." So as Broja goes through, he's just held him back there, and then Broja's lashed out with his right arm and caught him in the face, but the referee's called it for the initial pulling back of Broja as he was trying to complete a run off the ball to receive a 1-2.
Well, that's it, what you say there, that the ball had gone, it was off the ball. Broja had already played the ball out wide to this left-hand side, and he's now getting booked for his protest, for his back chat to the referee. But it was him with Calafiori. He got away from Calafiori. Calafiori was pulling him back, but actually Broja, he's pushed his arm back, and he's caught Calafiori, so maybe that's what the referee's booked him for. We're yet to find out whether it's for the actual back chat to the referee, or when you look at the replay, when Calafiori's pulling Broja back, the referee's given the free kick, but Broja puts his arm out, and he does catch Calafiori.
I wonder whether someone's had a word in his ear about that.
Possibly the VAR. It's been good though, VAR, so far in this tournament, hasn't it? Yeah. Efficient and quick.
It has. Free kick for Albania. It's about 26-27 yards out. Asani is over it, right-footed, hits the top of the wall. Wall did a really good job. Jumped, and they properly took it in the face. And in fact, taking it in the face was Bastoni, who is down on the ground. I mean, that's caught him square.
Yeah, that was hit from a real distance with power, dip, swerve. And to be fair to Bastoni, like many other walls, you see them crumble, you see players duck out the way and you see them get out the way. Bastoni there on the end of a three-man wall puts his head down and he takes it full on the forehead from 10 yards away. A really, really solid strike, and you can understand why Bastoni is just having a little bit of a breather on the edge of the Italian 18-yard box.
He's got an ice pack on his forehead. Harry Maguire would have just shrugged that off, I'm pretty sure. Wouldn't have even felt it. I thought it had hit him square in the face, but it has hit him on the forehead, hasn't it? He's rubbing his hairline now after having that ice pack on his head, and he's just telling the referee, I'm all right, I'm okay to carry on, but he's got his fingers over his eyes with his eyes closed at the moment, and he's just walking off the pitch, and the ice pack has gone back on his head.
The physio's about 2 foot smaller than Bastoni, and he's walking off with his right arm in the air, the physio, trying to hold an ice pack on his head, and he can barely reach. He's nowhere near where the ball struck him.
Referee's got the ball under his arm at the moment, and I think he's going to give the ball back to Albania. So yeah, he is, and Albania in possession on the halfway line. It was a good free kick from Aslani, by the way, the Inter playmaker. Really good strike, right-footed. You feel like if it was a foot higher, it might well have troubled the goalkeeper Donnarumma. As it is, still Italy 2, Albania 1. 53 minutes of the game gone. Albania took the lead after 23 seconds. The fastest ever European Championship goal on 5 Live. And we brought it to you live, as we will do every single game of this Euros. Your station for Euro 2024 and General Election 2024. There's no other station does it quite like us, as Albania are in possession, looking to find a way through. They've looked better in the second half, I've got to say. They're in possession near the halfway line. Twisting and turning is the right back Husai, who's the second all-time appearance maker for Albania. Ex-Napoli, so many of them with links to Italian teams. He's with Lazio at the moment, Husai. Here in the centre of the pitch, they're going to dink a little ball over the top, but that's over hit, looking for the run of Broja, and it's all the way through to Donnarumma, who plays the ball out short for Bastoni, and the Italians get the ball back. They have looked a little better though, Albania, I think, possession-wise, haven't they, second half?
They've certainly come out in the second half with more attacking impetus. Seferi, who was tucked in on that left-hand side in the first half as a makeshift left full-back, if you like, he's occupying his position higher up the field, and they're certainly enjoying a little bit more possession, and they're not afraid to press the Italians higher up the field.
Italy have got Spain next, Thursday, 8 o'clock, and then Croatia on Monday, 8 o'clock. As Italy are in possession in the centre circle inside their own half, Paul. Do you think this is a big advantage if they can find the 3 points in their opening group game to play Albania first in a group so tough?
It is if they score goals and get a comfortable win, but I think if you look at the Spanish team this afternoon, they're the ones that have laid down the marker, putting 3 past Croatia. The way that they played this afternoon in this group, I mean the so-called group of death, Spain, Croatia, Italy, Albania, you look at the group and you say, they're in again.
It's with Fratesi. The goalkeeper comes out again and makes a save with his legs. I think the offside flag's gone up anyway, and it'll be a free kick for Albania inside their own penalty area.
Really well worked again, interplay by Scamacca, and it's just offside by Fratesi. Just finds himself the wrong side of the centre half. Goalkeeper Strakosha does really well again, quick off his line, reads the situation well and thwarts the situation, but he was offside. But yeah, like I was saying, in this group, the group of death so-called, the third place out the group, it's going to be interesting to see whether Italy, Spain or Croatia, whoever finishes third in this group, actually gets enough points from the other games to qualify as the third place finisher.
Strakosha clears for Albania, and they have possession in centre field. The ball's knocked out to the right hand side to Yasir Asani, plays in South Korea, and now they're in possession inside their own half with Ramadani of Lecce, who was born in Germany, actually. Played with Aberdeen, you might remember, when they came third and qualified for European competition. And Albania have a throw-in near the halfway line. And the Italian manager is being very Italian with his hand gestures and his shouting. Luciano Spalletti, the 65-year-old, on the touchline. Throw-in for Albania on halfway. Another wicket at the cricket in Antigua. Ellie Aldroyd.
England have lost both openers. Phil Salt caught behind off the bowling of David Visa for 11. The experienced Namibian bowler really performing here in this delayed match. 11 aside. England are 19 for 2 in the fourth over with Brook and Bairstow out there together. But still with a long way to go if they're going to have a chance of progressing in this World Cup.
Need to win. 19 for 2 after 4 in an 11 over game.
It's not a great start, is it?
They bat very, very deep though. Let's keep the faith. Italy in possession with Jorginho in centre field. Italy building down the right hand side, being forced back by Albania, who are working tremendously hard off the ball, and there's an interception, but it's gone right back to a blue shirt off Asani. And Italy knock the ball back to the halfway line. Lip of the centre circle, stands on the ball, little drag back from Bastoni, scoring his second international goal tonight for Italy. Now the impressive Barella. I think he's been super so far, and if Italy are to defend their crown, he feels like he's going to be a key player for them going forward. Attacking wise, the question mark always about can they score enough goals. Well, he scored an absolute beauty in the first half. First time outside of the right foot, a volley, keeper no chance, started outside the post, swerved back in from about 19 yards to put Italy ahead, and that's still where we are. That goal coming in the 16th minute. We're now in the 59th as Chiesa tries to get to the byline. Good defending back there though by Nitai, but Italy had the ball back. Scamacca, now Chiesa left-footed and puts it wide. Keeper might have had it covered, just couldn't put enough bend on it to find the goalkeeper's right-hand corner, and it's still Italy 2, Albania 1.
Well, it all comes from Scamacca's hard work. Italy had the initial possession, lose out to Albania, but it's Scamacca who's chasing, he's closing the Albanian defenders down, wins the ball back for his team, works really hard, plays a really simple ball inside to Chiesa, opens himself up on his left foot, just doesn't have enough curl on it just to come inside that right hand post of Strakosha, but a really good opportunity for Italy.
Yeah, it just opened up for him there on the edge of the penalty area as Albania come forward trying to find Breuer, and it's good play from Breuer, and it just takes a nick there off Calafiori of Bologna. And I thought it did. It's going to be an Italian throw. in the left back spot for Federico Di Marco. 5 Live from the BBC. Earlier at the tennis, Emma Raducanu and Katie Bolter. Raducanu won the first set 7-6, and then they went off a bad light. That resumes tomorrow as Italy come forward through the middle into the feet now of Di Lorenzo, the right back. Centre field, Barella puts his foot on the ball, short pass, intercepted. Coming forward with the ball for Albania through the middle is Seferi, but Italy crowd him out. It's a throw into Albania, 10 yards inside their own half on the left hand side, and they'll go backwards. We're nearing the time when we might well see the odd substitution here for Albania. The subs are warming up in Dortmund. Pitch looks immaculate. Crowd very, very noisy indeed, but Albanian crowd nervy. The atmosphere the first 20 minutes and the 3 goals was just ridiculous, to be fair. And the noise when Albania went ahead after 23 seconds, I mean, you just couldn't make it up. It was extraordinary. As Albania are in comfortable possession themselves at the moment. They've got Croatia next and then Spain. That's Wednesday and Monday for them. Only 71 shots in qualifying, Albania, but with a 16% success rate, which is actually pretty good. It will put them 7th in the countries that have qualified for Euro 2024, and they've proved that so far, that early chance, they don't get many chances, they don't have many shots, but actually they've been pretty good at converting them, Paul Robinson.
Yeah, the conversion, I mean, the opportunities that they get are few and far between, but the conversion rate, like you say, isn't bad. The thing that surprised me tonight was their defensive frailty. I mean, the ease that Italy scored from a set play, and again from Italy's second goal, Silvino and his assistant Pablo Zabaleta, they'll be looking at each other thinking we've let them in too easy. There's situations where the Barella strike, yes, it was a fantastic strike, but they had numerous opportunities to clear it.
Italy in possession with Fratesi, plays a little slide rule pass through, but it's intercepted. They've got the ball back there with Chiesa, and now Pellegrini thinking about a cross or a shot, but he's forced backwards to Di Lorenzo of Napoli. Now into the feet of Jorginho, who won't be taking penalties, we think. If they are awarded a penalty, missed his last 4 for Italy, and now they're being forced back, and the Albanian fans, you can hear a whistling that they're going backwards and sideways, but they're doing exactly what they need to do. They're keeping possession, trying to pick Albania open, and a little pass through is intercepted. Get it back to the goalkeeper, who's under a little bit of pressure there, and he plays a high ball forward. The header's won by Calafiori, comes off his headband, and Italy are back in possession inside the Albanian half, and the whistles will start again.
I think it's important from an Italian point of view that they get more goals. They've got to show more attacking impetus. They're quite happy and comfortable in possession, and Albania are quite happy to let them have this possession in front of them. But from an Italian point of view, we look at Spain today, they've laid down a marker, put 3 past Croatia, Germany 5 past Scotland. You would expect the Italians to want to score more goals.
And they're trying, and they're throwing the ball through towards Fratesi, who hooks it towards goal, but it's over the crossbar and lands on the roof of the net, and it will be a goal kick for Albania. And we will check in at the cricket because we're worried. England, Namibia, Ellie Aldroyd.
Johnny Bairstow is trying to settle your nerves just a little bit. He's got that Johnny look in his eye. 24 of 14 balls. England now 39 for 2 after 5 overs. Just 11 to post a score here. The score predictor saying 108. Harry Brook at the other end is on 3. Earlier Salt out for 11 and Butler for a duck. So, can England do it? Can they get this win, which will at least give them a chance to progress into the Super 8s? 39 for 2 after 5.
Thank you, Ellie. Let's hope so. That sounds a little more healthy.
We'll be okay. The 2 Yorkshire boys are at the crease. They'll get the scoreboard ticking along.
The voice of Paul Robinson, former England goalkeeper, on 5 Live, your home of the Euros. Some brilliant games so far. Hungary, Switzerland sounded brilliant with Vicky earlier on. And then Spain, Croatia, really impressive from Spain. They play lovely football. And if they can get, their forwards scoring, Morata 3-0 up at half-time in that game, then they will be a force to be reckoned with. Of course, they went back-to-back in 2008. and 12. Italy looking to become the second team to go back-to-back and defend their European title. They're coming forward down the left-hand side now. England and France very much the favourites. Italy in possession on the edge of the penalty area of Albania. They've still got it. Jorginho plays the ball out to Chiesa. Little bit of room. Let the ball run across his body, then hammers it into the legs of the defender, and it's behind for a corner kick to Italy.
Yeah, it's up to the Italians now to create their own pace. There's no real pace to this game. There's no real urgency. As we said, the Albanians are quite happy in a low block. That's how they play. That's what they want to do. The Italians have got very, very comfortable possession, but it's up to them to move the ball quickly, to try and pick holes, to try and move this Albanian defence around and get more goals. Listen, another goal wins the game for Italy, but you would think in the situation they're in this group with Spain, Croatia, you would think from an Italian point of view they'd want to score numerous goals tonight, but they're just not showing enough urgency at the moment.
Short corner, and Pellegrini stands on the ball, and ironic cheers from the Albanian fans, but that is a good cross. Header at the far post takes a deflection over the crossbar, and it is a corner. It was looking like it was heading goalwards, but it just looped over the bar.
It was almost a carbon copy of Italy's first goal, but it was Di Lorenzo this time coming in around the far post, and it's the Hysaj, the left back, just gets in front, takes another deflection, but again it's Italy just slowing the game down here. Di Lorenzo's in no rush to take this corner, just strolling out, and it's the Albanian fans who are making the noise. They're booing him for taking the time.
Corner from the left-hand side is going to be taken by Federico Di Marco of Inter. The referee's spotted some pushing and shoving though in the penalty area, the German, and he's just done the international sign for stop it, which is parting your hands as the ball's played in, doesn't beat the man at the near post, and it's cleared away, and Albania will have a throw-in after a poor header from Jorginho, and they got away with that one because that was a poor corner and a poor header.
Yeah, the Italians have just lacked a little bit of quality in the second half, and urgency. The quality in the final third, the ability to open up Albania. They had a couple of opportunities in the first half, good saves by the Albanian goalkeeper, and they're not really creating those chances in the second half.
Midway through the second half, on 5 Live, as Italy concede a free kick inside their own half to Albania on the right hand side. Asani brought down. We're going to see our first lot of substitutions here, so there's going to be a couple of changes, and Asani is going to come off. And Hoya is going to come on. And Larchi is also going to come on for Albania, and Seferi is the man who makes way. So a couple of changes, attacking ones, try and freshen things up. They put a lot of work in, those wide players.
I think that's exactly what it is, John. I think it's literally just like for like, two players, Asani and Seferi, who have worked their socks off backwards and forwards. They've dropped in at times, filled in full-back areas, and the manager, Silvino's just wanted to freshen it up in those areas with the two players coming on.
As Albania come forward, and immediately Hoja has whipped his arms into the air to the Albanian fans, who are mixed in with some of the Italian fans behind that goal, and said come on, as they've won themselves a corner. They've got 22 minutes to find themselves an equaliser. Corner from the left hand side, whipped in deep, punch by Donnarumma is a good one. First time volley is not a good one, and it's gone wide pretty tamely in the end, and that is Aslani who gave it a go. They rarely come off, but when they do, Paul Scholes like, first time, high ball, dropping, they look great, but difficult skill to get right.
Yeah, very difficult, and it's very rare that the Albanians are venturing into the Italians' half. Donnarumma, that we've not talked much about, read the cross very, very well, got a good punch on it, and managed to clear his lines.
Italy in possession inside their own half, bring the ball out of defence, halfway line now, picked up by Pellegrini. Italy building down the right hand side now. Your daily dose of analysis, debate and insight from Euro 2024, plus interviews from inside the England and Scotland camps. The Football Daily on BBC Sounds. Going to keep you up to date with everything you need to know for the Euros. And if you want to know what the German word Schiebenschöner means, listen to the Football Daily tonight. Schiebenschöner. I wouldn't have got it. I know what it means, but wouldn't have had a clue.
Well, you were practicing it enough at half time because you knew you were going to have to say it in the second half. I thought it was excellent pronunciation, John.
Well, it's even harder than all the Albanian players we've had to pronounce.
We've been doing that all afternoon.
We've been doing that all afternoon together. Don't know what we look like to passers-by, but that's what you got to do. Italy in possession, but they've given the ball away, and Albania have got it. They're still in this, Albania. They're 2-1 down with 20 minutes plus added time to go. I wouldn't say they'll have taken being in this position, but they're very much not out of it. They're very much competitive.
They would have certainly taken this at half-time. They would have taken this game in sections, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and they want to get to landmarks in the game. The longer this game goes on, the more nervous the Italians are going to get. The Italians, again, so much comfortable possession without the urgency. And if they don't win this game, it'll be their own fault they haven't won this game. You know, Albania haven't had really any possession. They had the smash and grab goal in the first 23 seconds. Other than that, they've had no real opportunities. But the longer this game goes, it takes a corner, it takes a free kick. And if Italy don't win this, it will be their own fault because they haven't had the urgency to go and score that third goal that would win them the game.
Yeah. Arba Hoxha, by the way, who's come on 25 with Dinamo Zagreb. It's attacking substitution. And for Safari, Asani also going off. And Larchi from Sparta Prague, 28, has come on. 3 goals for his country in 27 appearances. They need to find a goal here, Albania, as the ball is played forward long by Albania, but it was a long straight ball with too much on it, and Broya's had a lot of those that he's not been able to get on the end of, and Italy are in comfortable possession deep in their own half. Update from Antigua from the cricket. England versus Namibia. Ellie Aldroyd.
67 for 2 after 7 overs, and Paul was right. The Yorkshire boys are doing it for them. 50, the partnership between Brook and Bairstow. Bairstow 31 off 17. Brook 23 off 12. They've both been finding the boundaries with some regularity now, looking better for England after that shaky start. 69 for 2 after 7.
4 overs to go then in that 11-a-side. England need to win it, obviously, if they're to go through to the Super 8. And then hope that Australia beats Scotland. Italy in possession on the halfway line off 5 live. 18 minutes plus added time to go. Not had a goal since the 16th minute, as that's a foul by Fratesi. And substitute Hoxha. There's a loose shoelace from Hoxha, ties it, it's just come on. My son Evan, his shoelaces are constantly coming undone during games.
Does it bother you by any chance?
Yeah, it really does. It's the only player who has to stop to have his laces tied. He's working on it. He's working on his double knot as the ball's played forward down the right-hand side. It's long though from Albania. They're playing this long straight ball, Paul, and they're just giving possession back to Italy.
Yeah, Broya up top in a number 9 role. He's cutting a very, very lone figure. As low as Albania have been defensively when they do play longer, it's a hard task. It's been a long shift for Broya, a very unfruitful one at the moment. I mean, he's chased a lot of causes. He's chased the Italian defenders down. He's tried to close angles down, and he's worked very, very hard.
Fratesi goes down holding the bottom of his back, and there is going to be a yellow card here for the substitute Hoxha, who I haven't seen the replay, but a yellow for an Albanian player, Hoxha, and there will be a free kick for Italy on the right-hand side, 5 yards inside the Albanian half. Oh, we've jinxed it. Wicked at the cricket. Ellie Aldroyd.
Yep. Yes, the Yorkshire Magic has finished. Johnny Bairstow, though, 31. He got off 18 balls, just top-edging one from the slow left armour and caught by the wicketkeeper running back. Brooks still there on 25. Bairstow out for 31. England 69 for 3 at the start of the 8th over.
Thank you, Ellie. Italy coming forward down the right-hand side with Chiesa. 3 in the middle to aim at. Cross takes a deflection. Goalkeeper Strakosha deals with it comfortably. We've just seen a close-up of an Albanian fan standing up just.
I was going to say that's. I'll use that term loosely.
That German beer is strong, and it's going to catch a few out, I think, out there. A friend of mine lives in Munich.
He looks like one of those things where you blow the air up, you know, the waggly arms that's behind the goal sometimes. They just keep flowing in the wind. Oh dear.
They're having a good time though out there, aren't they? The Albanian fans, and their team are still very much in this, and they've just won a free kick. That was a bit clumsy from Bastoni through the back of Broja, and that actually looked painful, and that's the last we'll see of Armando Broja. He didn't play, of course, for 2 years because of his ACL injury, has come back and has done his country proud and has done his team proud, put in a real shift, worked really hard up there on his own. Not an easy thing to do when you're out of possession for 70% of the game.
Listen, from a goalkeeper's point of view, I wouldn't know, but I'm told it's the hardest thing to do is to chase a football when you haven't got possession, and he cuts a very, very lonely figure up there up front for Albania, and he really has put in a shift for his team, and he's taken one right in the back there from Bastoni just before he goes off, holding his face, holding his nose, and again it's just to freshen up, no formation change, like for like substitution, just give them fresh legs and just hope that they can find a way to get back into this game.
Yep, and we're going to see Manay, who plays for Sivasspor in Turkey, 27-year-old striker, 8 international goals in 34 appearances, was 2 years away from the national team actually, and made his return during the spring friendly against Chile. Played for just over an hour, but did really well in his debut season in Turkey. Finished joint third top scorer with 18 goals. So knows where the back of the net is if he gets a chance, and that's a little tug back there on the left back, Mihai. And Pellegrini has gone off for Italy, and Cristante has come on, and Cambiasso is on for Chiesa. So a double change for Italy as well, and Albania are in possession. 13 minutes plus added time on 5 Live. Italy 2, Albania 1. Albania took the lead after 23 seconds, the fastest goal in European Championship history. But Italy were level on 11 and in the lead on 16. Bastoni with a header and then a brilliant strike from Barella. As forward come Albania down the right hand side, low cross, hits the legs of a defender. Italy get possession back with Calafiori. Italy in possession deep in their own half, playing out from the back. Albania have definitely come further up the pitch. They've come out of their low block, and that might leave a little bit of room in behind for Italy with DiMarco, who's flying down the left-hand side. He's got players ahead of him, and then the boos. It's difficult to tell whether they're coming from Italian fans because they've stopped and gone backwards, or whether it's Albanian fans, Paul Robinson.
Yeah, well, that's the thing from the Italian point of view. DiMarco there in a really advanced position down the left wing, gets an opportunity. You're thinking, go on, whip the ball in, put the ball forward, get it in behind the back four, but yet he chooses to turn and retain possession. So often do we talk about teams playing backwards and sideways, but the Italians have been very, very guilty of that in the second half. They're doing it again. They're all the way back now to Bastoni and Calafiori, the two centre-halves. Comfortable possession, but they're entering a really dangerous point of the game now, the Italians. They've not got that comfort of the third goal. Albania could hit them on the counter-attack. They could get themselves back into this game. You feel that Italy do need another one. The longer this game goes, the Albanians could get back into this.
They could well find themselves a goal, and they are deep in their own half. Let's get an update from the cricket. Antigua, England, Namibia. Ellie Aldroyd.
Game reduced already to 11 aside, and it is raining again in Antigua at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium. The covers are on, the players are off the field. Remember that England, if this game is abandoned, will only get a point, and that will not be enough to take them through to the Super 8s. 82 for 3 after 8 overs when rain stopped play.
Oh, that's the replays you can hear in the background there with Ellie. Oh dear me, we really do. England really do need.
Who plays cricket in Florida in the rainy season anyway?
Exactly.
That's my excuse.
And the Caribbean. The good news for Scotland though. as the ball's played forward towards the striker who's just come on, Manai. He had his shirt pulled there by Bastoni in the penalty area. He's got a real grip on him. Wow.
I tell you what, Manai does really well to stay up there, because if he goes to ground, there's a case there for VAR to look at that. Bastoni's got more than a handful of his shirt, but Manai, you give him credit because he's got a sniff. He thinks he's in. He gets the wrong side of Bastoni, and Bastoni just tugs him back, and Donnarumma's able to come out and collect the ball.
It was more than a piece of his shirt, wasn't it? And usually players have a bit of each other's shirt, but it wasn't the case with that one. Manai maybe had his arm round the defender, but certainly didn't have hold of any of his shirt, as Italy are in possession on the right-hand side with Cambiasso. Now into Bastoni, moving down the right with Cambiasso again. All back inside to Jorginho. He's frustrated. He's pointing where he wants players' runs to go. As Cambiasso back to Jorginho, 25 yards from the Albanian goal. Little interception, but Italy get the ball back. Intercepted again. This time Albania do have possession in the left fullback position and will clear long left-footed down the line, but they've gifted possession straight back to Italy in the centre of the pitch with Bellanova.
See Scamacca there in the number 9 position. He's getting so frustrated. He's running the width of the 18-yard box. He's making angles, he's making runs, but there's nobody that's wanting to put the ball at risk. There's none of those Italian players wanting to lose possession. This is almost like watching a Spanish team 2 or 3 seasons ago. You know, the 1,000 passes without actually going anywhere. Get yourself to the edge of the box, work a way in, and then they turn and they keep possession, and they keep comfortable possession rather than taking that risk. And Scamacca up front is getting so frustrated at the lack of opportunity that he's getting, or through balls to him.
Well, he's coming off now, Scamacca, and it was Cristante, not Bellanova earlier on. Cristante in midfield, the substitute for Italy. So off he comes, and on comes Retegui. It would have been a decision to be made by the manager, Spalletti, of which one of those two to start. Scamacca got criticised for playing too much Call of Duty, didn't he, ahead of one international. Retegui started a couple and got a couple of goals back in March. And we're going to see DiMarco come off, and Darmian comes on for Italy. 8 minutes plus added time. Italy 2, Albania 1 on 5 Live. Italy in possession on the right-hand side. Moving the ball forward up the pitch with Di Lorenzo. Jorginho in the middle, sprays the ball out to the left-hand side. First touch for Darmian, who brings the ball down and plays it inside. Frattesi. Di Lorenzo again. And Italy again happy to go sideways and keep possession. Got the ball on the right now with Frattesi, puts in a cross, headed away only partially by Albania. They've got possession back with Jorginho. Di Lorenzo being forced back, whistles again from the supporters. Cristante. Bastoni, scorer of the first goal for Italy, and now back, all the way back into their own half, Italy, and all the way back with the furthest player back in an outfield shirt to Bastoni. 2-1, Italy lead. Can Albania get a sniff of an equaliser? Do they have one more chance? While Italy seem quite content just to win this one 2-1.
They do, and they're very comfortable in possession, but I've not seen from the Albanians yet, there's not been a real trigger point where you would think the manager at a certain point in the game, he would go in his head at half time, he'd think, right, on 70 minutes, if it's still the same, 75 or 80, whenever it is, we're going to come out of our low block, we're going to be expansive, we're going to play a longer ball, we're going to change formation, do something different, and I haven't seen that from the Albanians. The Italians have had it all their own way, very, very comfortable in possession without having that cutting edge, but they haven't had to. From the Albanian point of view, you're getting to a point in the game now where you're going, okay, you're still in this game, go on then, have a go. What chance have you got in this group? Nobody's giving you a hope in the group. You're in the game, you're 1-0 behind, you've probably got 10 plus minutes to go and have a go at Italy. They're there for for an opportunity to get back in this game.
Italy in deep possession again. 5 Live, your home of Euro 2024 and the 2024 general election. We have got you covered like no other station can. Italy in possession deep. Albania with a good little interception though. Can they make something of this? They've played it back to their centre back though, Ayeti, and now it's with Jimshiti. Albania do have the ball on the halfway line though. 5 minutes plus added time to go in the game. If you're looking for something to have a listen to this week, by the way, then I can heartily recommend the You'll Never Beat Kyle Walker podcast. It's on BBC Sounds right now, taking you inside the dressing room and telling you what it takes to win. It's very good. Pleased to have Kyle on board. That's a lovely turn by Hoja, who's going down the left-hand side. And can he put in a cross? It's a good little run, this. He's got 2 men around him now, and the Italians snuff it out, but he's won a throw. That's really positive.
He's done well since he's come on, Hoja. He's come on this left-hand side. He's looked proactive. Every time he gets the ball, he's forward-thinking. He gets the ball, he runs at the Italian defence. Not necessarily always looking to put a cross in the box, but he knows if he gets the ball into the corner, he can get a throw-in, he can get a set play, a corner for his team. Really good direct play from him.
Another substitution for Albania, and the goal scorer Nedim Bayrami of Sassuolo got relegated with them this season, scored his 5th international goal, the fastest goal in European Championship history after 23 seconds. It's a night he will never forget. It's something no one will ever be able to take that away from him, that goal and that moment when he jumped into the crowd and the Albanian supporters were going ballistic. He'll remember this night forever.
And by the way, 23 seconds, that will take some beating as well. When you think about Premier League record goals and other record goals that are scored around the world, 23 seconds, I mean, it was incredibly quick, wasn't it?
Albania are in possession in the Italian half here. Now they knock it back to centre-back Jimshiti. In possession centre field with Aslani of Inter. Knocked down the right-hand side, but they've lost possession. Italy get it back, and now in midfield, Barella might be able to create something. He goes sideways, and that's an overhit pass, but they still got the ball here. Italy, that's good play. Running through the middle from Cambiasso. Barella picks the ball up, halfway line. They've gone back again, Italy, with the 2, if you like, big games still to come. Have you seen enough from the Italians yet to suggest that they can defend their crown?
You see that what I've just written down there, John, at the bottom?
Unconvincing.
I mean, we've watched Spain, we've watched Germany, and we've been impressed by them this afternoon and yesterday, last night. I've watched the Italians today. They've conceded the early goal. They did well to get back in the game. They kept the composure. Yes, they've been good in possession, but actually to have that cutting edge to go forward and go, they've not convinced me tonight. I mean, I know that their squad's threadbare. That's one thing that could play against them as the tournament gets deeper if they are to progress. But I just think comparing them to what I've seen with Germany, what I've seen with them to Spain, I've not seen enough from them tonight against the team that they should be beating. They should be beating comfortably.
Ernest Mucci is the player that replaced Bayrami, by the way, another forward. 3 goals in his 10 international caps, the 23-year-old from Besiktas. Can he be the one who finds them a goal? They're in possession, and you can hear that roar. It's the Albanian supporters because they've got the ball. They managed to put in a challenge and win possession near the halfway line. 90 seconds of normal time remaining. Albania in possession on the halfway line. Can they find a way through? Italy have gone back into their shape. They've got the ball on the right-hand side with Larchi. Keeping possession here. Albania. Halfway line. Roared on by the Albanian supporters. 50,000 of them outside the ground and almost as many inside as well. Minai on the right-hand side. Kusai. Back to their goalkeeper there. They've been forced back by Italy. They've done a good job out of possession here. And Albania have chipped the ball over the top. Strakosha, the goalkeeper, chips it out to the right-hand side. Italy retreating into their own half. Aslani in possession. We'll find out how many seconds we've got added on. That's a lovely control and a little dink towards goal, and it's put wide. That was a chance for Albania, who feel like they've got a corner here. It was a really nice effort there from Manai. It was beautifully chested down, got the right side, maybe a bit heavy. Keeper Donnarumma came out, tried to dink it over him. Donnarumma celebrates. He's got his eyes on the ball, tight angle. In fact, it comes off Donnarumma's back. It might have been on target if it hadn't been for that. Donnarumma certainly thinks it was a save. It's a corner for Albania, and that was maybe their chance.
Could Donnarumma have just saved his team? Blushes. I mean, that's a great opportunity. It's the point I've been making all second half. It's Ayiti, the centre half, a long ball over the top into Manai, the striker that's just come on. And as it happens, I think he's been given offside, but it was a fantastic touch by Manai on his chest. But that's how quick it is. It's one long ball over the top. Striker gets in behind, opens himself up. He's through on goal. Yes, Donnarumma makes a great save. He was offside, but that just shows how quickly a game can turn.
I'm not sure if it was offside or they gave a goal kick and didn't see the save.
Of course, because VAR can't get involved on decisions like that. So that's, I mean, the goalkeeper did. He made a fantastic save, and the goalkeeper's reaction, Donnarumma got up and celebrated.
And unfortunately, we've got a fan on the pitch in Dortmund here who they're trying to remove, who is sprinting about the pitch, and the play's been delayed. So with that in mind, let's go and get an update from the cricket. It's England-Namibia in the T20 World Cup. Ellie Aldroyd.
Sun is out again. Harry Brook is batting again. He's 43 off 19. Absolutely invaluable innings from the Yorkshireman. 97 for 3. This game has now been reduced to 10 aside, so this is the final ball of that penultimate over, and it'll go for another 4 runs from Harry Brook. So the 100 up for England, 101 for 3, 47 for Brook, 10 for Moeen Ali, and England have one more over in which to set a target which they will then try and defend, and then hope Australia can beat Scotland later tonight in St Lucia.
I don't know whether to stay up for that one. I don't know if my heart could take it. We've got 4 minutes of additional time in Dortmund. 2 minutes of additional time remaining. Barella is coming off for Italy. Score of the second goal, a brilliant volley, a super goal to put them 2-1 ahead. And boy, have they needed him as well. Al-Sharawi comes on to replace him. Italy did really well to get themselves back into it, and at 2-1 they have, as Paul said, have taken their foot off the pedal. Unconvincing so far, and Albania have got 90 seconds to try and find themselves a goal. So you'd think maybe, obviously it's just the first game, but to keep themselves in the tournament. It's actually Folorunsho who's come on for Italy. He's just gone to ground near the halfway line and won his side a free kick in the centre circle, and Italy will take their time over this one. That might have been the chance for Albania, Paul Robinson.
Absolutely. I mean, they had a really good opportunity there, and as we saw there, the referee didn't notice the fine touch from Donnarumma, but that could have been the opportunity. You feel there maybe is one more opportunity left in this game for Albania. You've got to give them a lot of credit. I mean, they took the goal early on in the game. Fantastic start for them, but the way that they composed after conceding the lead, and since half-time coming back into this game, they've had a game plan, they've been structured. Yes, they haven't caused the Italians that many problems, but you've got to give the Albanians a lot of credit for the way that they've approached this game today.
Well, Albania are in possession. This is their last chance. They fire a ball forward. That's a really good first touch. They've got it on the halfway line. That's not such a good ball forward, and Italy have got possession back, and they'll just try and keep it now, and they've committed a free kick on the halfway line, Albania, and you think with 30 seconds, 20 seconds left in the game, that should well be it for Italy, and that will be it for Albania.
You can see the Italians now, they're in absolutely no rush to take this free kick whatsoever. The changes that they've made late on in the game were ones defensively. They were quite happy to see this game out with 20-30 minutes left.
Albania have got it inside their own half. They need to get this forward quickly. The referee hasn't looked at his watch yet. Long high ball forward, tussling for the ball, no free kick as the Albanian forward goes down under a challenge. Albanian supporters don't like that. All headed forward by Albania. Still no look at the watch from the referee. We've played 30 seconds over the 4 minutes of added time. Italy 2, Albania 1 on 5 live. Albania in possession deep in their own half, with Italy working really hard off the ball. They're just going to have to launch this long, I think. They've got it with Aslani in the midfield. They've got a bit of space actually here on the right hand side. Still no glance at the watch. In comes a cross from Albania. Might well find its way all the way through here to Hoya, and there's a left foot shot and it's put over the crossbar. It was Mitai who had the chance. It was kind of a cross-come shot, and it's curled over the angle of bar and post, and it's a goal kick for Italy.
Yeah, that's it, John. It was a cross-come shot. Mitai on the corner of the 18-yard box. A really good shooting opportunity, but he didn't want to take the chance. He went to lift it to the far post, and he was caught in two minds between a cross and a shot, and he just lifted it harmlessly out of play.
And there goes the full-time whistle. The defending champions start with a win, trying to become the first team since Spain to go back-to-back, only the second team ever to go back-to-back. They fell behind after 23 seconds to a goal from Bayrami, the fastest ever goal at a European Championships. They got back level on 11 with a header from Bastoni, and then what turned out to be the winner came in the 16th minute. Barella with a brilliant strike from the edge of the penalty area, but after that they seem happy to hang on. Albania can be proud of themselves. Finished Italy 2, Albania 1. Paul Robinson.
Yeah, if you look at the stats in the game, you look at the goals column, you look at the possession column, chances created, Italy have dominated the game. But actually when you analyse the game from an Italian point of view, they didn't really go and overpower Albania. Yes, they had comfortable possession, but you look at the areas that they had comfortable possession, it was in their own defensive third, it was in the midfield third. When they did get in the final third, they didn't really create that many clear-cut opportunities. They chose to keep possession, they chose to go backwards, sideways. From an Italian point of view, I'd have loved to have seen them go, try and cut Albania open, create more chances, score more goals. Listen, they didn't do that. They got the job done. It was a workmanlike performance. They were comfortable at times. They could have gone on and tried to score more goals. They didn't. From an Albanian point of view, it's a night that they'll never forget. The early goal in the European Championships, 23 seconds, a record that I think will stand for a long, long time. And they gave a good account of themselves tonight. They stayed in the game, and they actually had an opportunity really late on in the game to nick a draw, which, listen, it would have been harsh on Italy, it would have been unfair, but they should have created more chances and won the game more comfortably.
Italy will likely have to be better than that on Thursday against Spain, Mark.